Hello, hello. Welcome to Happy Hour. We are so glad that you are here and have joined us for another episode of Career Happy Hour. We're going to give a few more minutes for everyone to be able to come on and jump in. But as you come in, please make sure that you comment with your name, where you tuning in from, and what are you sipping on, if you dare to share. I will tell you that I have my cab that is rocking and ready. That is what I'm sipping on. But please make sure that as you come on in, that you let us know your name, where you tuning in from, and what are you sipping on. And we will get started here in just a few minutes. We know that we're streaming live to our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, as well as on YouTube. So we want to give everyone a chance to come on and jump in. We have a great show, an amazing guest co-host tonight, and I cannot wait for you to hear from her. So please go ahead and jump into the chat. Let us know your name, where you're tuning in from, and what you're sipping on. And we'll start in just a minute. Well, we see that Aisha is tuning in from Decula, Georgia. We appreciate you, Aisha. So appreciate you, Queen. You are so amazing. We have Alicia that is tuning in from Orlando. The drink of the night is Blue Island iced tea. I like the sound of that. That sounds really pretty. All right. Well, let's see who else we have tuning in. We have Pam German from Montgomery, my hometown, representing. That's what I'm talking about. So appreciate you. Thank you, Pam. All right. Well, we will go ahead. Let me get this moved over here. And we will go ahead and get started. Please, as you continue to jump on, I know everyone is trying to maybe get off work, or they're trying to multitask with everything that they have going on at home and with work. Please just come on in. Make sure that you comment with your name, where you're tuning in from, and what do you have in your favorite beverage that is going on. So appreciate you jumping in and tuning in with us for another episode of Career Happy Hour. And I know we have Career Happy Hour on different days of the week, which is the reason for RSVPing, so that you get the latest details of the day and time that we'll hop on to do Happy Hour. But I really love doing happy hours on Wednesday, because Wednesday is hump day. And what better day than Wednesday, other than Friday, to do a happy hour? Because it's the middle of the week. You have half the week behind you. You have the other half ahead of you that you can still grind and get some really productive things done. So I really appreciate being able to do happy hour with you all on a Wednesday. We have Siobhan that is coming in from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Thank you, Queen, for all of your support. You are absolutely amazing. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. We were giving everyone a few minutes to jump in, but please, as you continue to come in, let us know who you are, where you're coming in from, and so that we can make sure that we can have some shout outs and some engagement. We love engagement. So please pop in your comments, pop in your questions. We want to hear from you as we have our chit chat for happy hour, because that's what happy hour is about, right? We do a little chit chatting. We talk to this person, we talk to that person, we sip a little bit, and all of the cares in the world just go away. And it's just, a wonderful time in the world when we're at happy hour anytime, no less when you're doing it career style. So Again, welcome to Career Happy Hour. We have a most amazing guest co-host tonight, and I will do a bit of an intro. I know that I don't always do a really big long intro, but I'm telling you, we are honored to be able to have this guest co-host with us tonight. So I'm going to make a special point to make sure you know a little bit about her background. But before I introduce her, I want to just give a few accolades to Career Happy Hour, because you all are what has made Career Happy Hour a very special place. All of the feedback that we're getting from the nuggets that you're receiving, that you're able to really apply into your life, into your businesses, and into your career. And we just hit a major milestone of 100 RSVPs in our members. And I am so beyond ecstatic, because that's really a lot to think that we started mid-January and here we're right at the 1st of March. That is really, really amazing. We've had 6 really just awesome guest co-hosts thus far, and a little bit of a, I don't know, trivia, I guess, if you will. Of those 6 guest co-hosts, 4 of them, it was their first time going live. Can you believe that? I know I'm not going to tell you who, because all of them have been so amazing that you wouldn't have thought that it was their first time actually going live. And you couldn't tell. And so I really appreciate all of them that have come on. And I say that because as I continue to give opportunities to individuals to have visibility, profitability, and recruitability, then that's part of what I want to reach out to my network to make sure that we really give them those opportunities, because we definitely need those. And it's just something about showing up. So I am your host and mixologist, LaShena Recruitalina. If you don't know me by now, I am absolutely obsessed with your success. And I have as my mission to be able to normalize earning 6 figures. And so I'm on a mission to impact, to really to affect, to really pour into 6 digits of people. So 999,999 is the impact that I want to be able to make to help normalize earning 6 figures. So again, so appreciate that you're here. Really appreciate all of the comments we have that's coming through. And it sounds like we are ready to make the jump. So that is our topic for tonight. We are talking to Sylvia Kelsey-Russell. Sylvia Kelsey-Russell is up in the building. And let me tell you a little bit about Sylvia. Other than she is just my awesome BFF from so many different aspects. But let me tell you a little bit about her background. So Sylvia has been working in the beauty and entertainment industry with celebrities for over 25 years. She was the key makeup artist for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer cheerleaders and worked on various celebrities ranging from Hulk Hogan and family to foodie Adam Richman and HSN show hosts. Sylvia has been a beauty and lifestyle expert host for over 10 years in Tampa at WFLA Channel 8, the daytime show, and Channel 10, Studio 10. She has also worked for NBC Dateline, TLC Network, the Travel Channel, and has been an educator in the classroom for top beauty companies, as well as has owned and managed salon startups. The creator of a Florida-based hair and beauty magazine, Sylvia has written and produced articles and stories that lend valuable information to readers of all ages. Sylvia founded Puckered Cosmetics in August of 2016 in St. Petersburg, Florida, and is a proud mother of 3. Please bring your hands together and welcome my special guest co-host tonight is Sylvia. You just need that one name. That it's just Sylvia to me. There's no last name. It's just one name. Can we just do that?
You could call me whatever you like, sweetheart. Call me whatever you like, whatever works for you. Sylvia Kelsey-Russell. Russell is my married name, was my married name. I'm no longer married. And so Kelsey is my maiden name. I have gone back to that, but for 20 years I was Russell, and it's hard to really drop that name. So I kind of keep it. And use it and don't use it. So, whatever works.
Whatever works. So we're just going to work with Sylvia. It's just, it's all about Sylvia. And I just so appreciate so much about you. The history that we have. When we first met, there was just this connection and this energy that it was like, you know what? I need to connect with her. You remember?
I remember, I remember calling you up because I needed a friend. And I was like, up to here, and I think I cried when I talked to you. I think I was crying. Girl, it was a whole lot, and we barely knew each other.
Yep, absolutely. But it's something about when the universe puts people in your circle that you can't ignore it. You really got to make sure that I say capitalize, but not in a negative way. Capitalize in a good way, because those people have been put in your universe for a reason. And I definitely feel that way. I want to shout out, we got Fox in the building over here.
Okay.
Fox says, "What's popping?" Trying to get it in.
I sent you the link, girlfriend. I want to give a shout out to Alicia. Thanks for always being there for me. My girl out of Orlando. That's what's up.
And then we got somebody that's having a flashback saying, showing my age, the Hogan family. Yes.
Yes, right. That was in the very beginning. Shout out to Sharice too. Hey, girl.
You see Sharice? Where is Sharice?
She's on.
Oh, wow. And then I have my cousin Chemical from Montgomery, Alabama. So appreciate all of the support. You guys are just amazing. And what are you sipping on, my dear? Please do tell. What's in your glass?
This is my early evening drink. What I like to start with, it's a little Pinot Grigio. A little Pinot,
I like that. That sounds really yummy.
If you haven't already put what drink you're drinking, go ahead and put it in the comments so we can we can toast.
That's right. We gonna do this virtual toast up in here. I love it. Well, I know we have so much. Okay, we have some cheers. Cheers. So we have so much to talk about. And so I definitely want to make sure that we, start, really digging into a lot of the things. And, one of the things that I always like to ask my guest co-hosts is, I read all of those accolades for you, Sylvia. You have been rocking and rolling, girl. You have just been bringing it. Is that where, if you look back 20 plus years, is that where you thought your career would be? Is that what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Wow. Thanks. Yeah, rocking and rolling. I don't know how much rocking and rolling, probably more running and dragging. But, growing up, I really didn't think I would be I didn't know I would be in the beauty industry. I did. I was really into making sure that I looked good and doing my nails and my makeup and my hair. And I had no clue that was going to turn into a career. When I was about 7 or 8, I remember drawing a photo by hand of a hair salon. But again, didn't know that's where I would be, 30 years later. So, you never quite know the path that you're going to take. Sometimes you just do life. You just move. You just move into, there's a flow. You graduate, go to high school, you graduate high school, people map out your life for you. You go to college, or you go to trade school, you go to another type, you get another type of education. And, so up until, you're out of high school in your early 20s, someone pretty much maps your life for you. That's what parents do. They try to map a way for you so that you could be successful. In my case, you know, um, I moved to Florida from Pennsylvania when I was 15, and I hated school. I was the new girl at school, and all I could do was hurry up and graduate. And I put college off because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. And I put it off. I said I would go in January. You graduate in August. I said, oh, I'll go to college in January. Well, when January came, I didn't want to go to college. So, but I knew I needed to do something. And believe me, I never even thought about going to beauty school. It just came to a crossroads where I knew I needed to do something. I knew I did not want to go to college. So a light came on and said, I'm going to beauty school. And I want to stop right there and say that sometimes when we get those aha moments or those sudden ideas, you need to move on them. A lot of times we get these ideas and we kind of push them off to the side. We ignore them and we continue in a direction that we feel like we should be going in. Oh, well, I got this good job. I better keep it. I can't do this or I can't do that. And so I'm really, really grateful that when I came to that crossroads, and I had to make a decision because, again, I knew I had to do something. I knew that I couldn't just work. I knew I had to have some type of education. When the light came on for me to go to beauty school, I just did it. I just did it. And I didn't question it. So, go through school and you get there, and then, life happens and you continue to move on and move through and move up and move down, in and out, trying to make life work for you.
Wow. That's really so true on so many different aspects. I can remember with me, college was never even on the table. You know, it's just hard to believe, but sometimes, that's just not what's instilled in us from our parents. It's about graduating from high school and going ahead and getting a job. So in my case, that's what I did. And I didn't start college until I was in my late 20s, believe it or not. And I'm so grateful for the journey that I took, because I think I appreciated education a lot more in my late 20s than I would have in my early 20s. So you're right. Sometimes these paths are just laid out for us as if that's the plan, and if you don't go with the plan, you're not being successful. But that's one of the things that you and I talked about, is about not letting life choose you, but you choose life. So tell us a little bit about how you've had real life experience in that aspect of life, you letting life choose you, and then you stepping back to say, oh, wait a minute, I'm in control of my life. Let me take control of this and make sure that I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah. At a young age, I let life choose me. I let life push me into different circumstances. I didn't have anyone mentoring me or educating me on, using my own mind and asking myself certain questions and how to take one step after another. So an example of letting life choose me is, I was dating a boy in high school, and I got pregnant. So, I end up not having the child because I knew that it wasn't right for me at that time. But that's an example of letting life choose me because I didn't stand up and take precaution for myself. Right? So you let life choose you. So then you get to a point where, okay, you got to make a decision. Now you're pushed to make a decision. Do you have a child at 16? Do you not have a child? Who do you listen to? Right? So that's one example. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. So moving forward, for most of my early 20s, I allowed life to push me into circumstances. I wasn't making decisions on my own. I was reacting to things that were happening in my life. I wasn't being deliberate and I wasn't making choices or thinking about doing things prior to. It was a situation happens, now you have to make a decision. And so in my early 20s, a lot of the things that I did were based on a reaction and an action and reaction. I had my son at 19. So what do? You move in with his father. You all of a sudden are in a relationship that maybe you shouldn't be in, right? So I had my beauty career, and you kind of, again, life just kind of pushed me, pushed me, and pushed me. And so it wasn't until after I was married for many, many years, and my husband and I started having problems in life and marriage, it came to a point when I had done everything that I thought I could do to solidify and help our marriage. And when I could no longer look at myself and stay in a position where I wasn't getting the assistance or help from my spouse, there was a voice that came to me. It was a really, really dark time. And the voice said, if you don't go now, you will never leave.
Wow.
And prior to that, I had already started some self-care, some self-development. I had started listening to motivational videos. I started listening to the law of attraction. I started to really pour into myself because we were having such problems in our marriage and we weren't communicative. We couldn't communicate. And so I just started to communicate with myself. I started to feed myself. I started to just take self-help and start working on me as an individual. And so I feel like when that voice came, if I hadn't already done the work on me, I might have ignored that. Right? Leave. How do you leave? I got a whole house, I got a whole career here, a 25-year career, very successful career, but there was also a part of me that wanted to, had always wanted to leave. There was a part of me that always wanted to explore another state or another country. There was a part of me that wanted to be in a different place. But because of my circumstances, because I had been pushed into marriage, because I had children, because I had a husband, because I had a house, I started to put all of that first. And I just was reacting and making actions because of the reactions. So when I heard that voice, if you don't leave now, you never will. I made the decision. I made the decision to leave the relationship and start working again on creating a life that I truly, truly wanted. I truly, truly wanted. And it was hard. It was very hard. It was a really, really dark time for me. The funny thing is this, and I hope that those that are listening listen carefully. During the time that there was issues in my marriage, it wasn't just issues in my marriage. There was something going on in me and people around me where I was getting uncomfortable. And, I would meet with my girlfriends and we would sit around and talk and drink. And I would say to them, is this all we're going to do is sit around and talk and drink? Like, I want to talk about where you want to be in the next 5 years. I want to talk about where do you want to be in the next 3 years? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? And my my circle wasn't ready for those questions. And they kind of took offense to me saying, hey, is this all we're going to do is sit around and drink? But fast forward to today, when I look back at those times, it was me. It was me because I had been feeding myself affirmations. I had been listening to motivational videos and tapes. I had been reading and studying on how to be a better me, how to be a better person. And when you start to sow into yourself, when you start to love yourself, when you start doing self-care, you will get a little uncomfortable around your peers that you've always been around because now you are leveling up. You're growing into something new. And so when this happened, it just happened to be the same time that I was going through issues with my husband. And I literally was alone. I was by myself. I was by myself. I couldn't even talk to my friends about, what was going on in my marriage because they were kind of upset with me because I said that, is this all we're going to do? And I never meant to offend anyone, but it was how I was feeling because I needed more. And so, I got through that. And my girlfriend in Atlanta, she would call me every morning and she would say, we need to start a business. We need to start a business. We need to start a business. And so thinking back again, this was another time when the universe was kind of trying to get me to like, Sylvia, make decisions that are going to be best for you. And so not after too long, my girlfriend and I started a company called Puckered. It's a lipstick company. We're an e-commerce company and we sell lipsticks online. And that's really how I got to Georgia. I was already ready to leave, but I just needed that extra push. And with my girlfriend nudging me to start a company, that was what I needed to go ahead and make that leap. We talk about when all else fails, jump. And a lot of people don't always understand what that means. But for me, leaving my home of 30 plus years and moving to a state that I had never lived in before, I had never been anywhere. I had never been away from my parents. But it was time for me to jump. It was time for me to jump. And so I did. And I packed my little car full of whatever I could take. I had maybe $100 and I was supposed to move to Georgia like the first week of June or whatever. I moved out of my house and something said, you know what? It's June 1st. There's nothing else here for you. Just go ahead and go. And so I did. I got in my car and I drove to Georgia with $100 in my pocket. And so that was me jumping. That was me taking a leap of faith. How does one, I mean, you may be asking yourself, well, how'd you do that, girl? I don't know if I could do it. Well, you know what? I didn't want to live the same life that I had already been living. I wanted to experience life, and I wanted to be deliberate in the things that I was doing. I no longer wanted life to just push me into circumstances. I wanted to be deliberate about what it was that I wanted. You know, my whole career, when I think back to all the opportunities that opened for me, it was because that whenever an opportunity or whenever I was in a place when I didn't know what to do, there was a little voice that said, "What do you want to do, Sylvia?" And I would always answer that question honestly. And so, one big thing that I want everyone on the show tonight to understand is that don't wait until a circumstances comes. Don't wait until you're down and out to ask yourself these questions. Every day, you should be asking yourself, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? And then the next question after that is, how do I get there? Now that I'm 50 years old, I'm being super deliberate about my day-to-day actions, who I involve myself with, who I surround myself with, because I am the sum of the people around me. If you don't know what that means, I'm going to say it again. I am the sum of the people around me. So, example, if my friends, you know, they got a little job, they're happy, they're comfortable with what they're doing, they're not trying to do anything else, and this is my circle, two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to get real comfortable and complacent, or I'm going to get really uncomfortable and I'm going to exit the circle. And knowing when to do that is very important. Who you surround yourself with is very important. And when I was going through transition, and my friends fell off and I was alone, I take that as a blessing because it allowed me to grow in strength, to grow in courage, to fortify my being as a person, and to know that I can do anything that I choose to do. So just remember that, as you're going in your day-to-day life, the people that are around you, if they're not there pushing you and helping you, asking you those questions, you should have friends asking you questions. Hey, girl, what's going on with your job? How's it going? Are you happy? How long you think you're going to be there? Is that what you really want to do? If you're not asking yourself those questions, I hope that the friends in your circle are asking you those questions.
Whoo, girl. Okay. Una just broke down all of that right there. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, and so much of what you're saying is resonating with so many people. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your transparency, because I've gone through very similar situations. And it's one of those things that's taboo to talk about. You don't talk about those types of things, but this is real. We want to bring real topics, real conversations, because guess what? Though that emotional journey that you're going through is impacting everything in your life. The way you make money, how much money you make, it's impacting how successful you can be in everything that you do. So one of the questions that we have here, and there's just so many that is that speaks here. It says, wow, this is speaking to me, the circle. When you talked about the sum of the individuals around you that is so powerful. One of the questions that has come in is, I've had these moments. How did this affect your children? How did you balance your decisions? What would you say to that, Sylvia? Because I know that's one of the things that really weighed heavy on me is, the impact of your decisions would then impact your kids.
Yeah, that's a great question. Fortunately and unfortunately, because it was not all good. I have three children, and my two oldest children were out of the house, and my daughter was still at home with me. And so it saddens me to think, and I get a little choked up, that she had to kind of go through the separation that me and my husband went through, because it was she and I in the house. And so, you know, people think that you argue behind doors and kids don't know. Kids know everything. And so it was disheartening to know that my child had to go through this. Luckily, I didn't separate from my husband until she went to college. So two kids were already out of the house, and my daughter, my goal through this period, from about the age she was about 16 to 18 to 17, my goal, I was very deliberate in what I wanted, was to make sure that she was going off to college. It is what she wanted to do. And that she had everything in place, everything she needed, everything I needed to do to make sure that she got there and that she could thrive. That was where I put all of my focus in when I was going through the rough time with my ex-husband. And so, again, fortunately, I didn't separate from my ex until she was out of the house. But she still had to, remember, I didn't have my friends at this time. So she was my friend, you know? And today she's an amazing woman. She's a strong feminist, living on her own at 22 years old, and I can't be more proud of her. But when you do have children, all I can say is that don't wait until it's too late. I don't care what age the children are, they know what's going on, and it's hurting them more to see you fight and argue and struggle than it would be to be in a home where you're happy and smiling and laughing and taking care of one another.
Yep. Yep. And that's one of the things that has always weighed very heavy on me. I have a young one. But the one thing that really stands out is how resilient kids are. They are so resilient. And really, it's up to the adults who really kind of,
We think
they create the path for them.
Yeah, we think they're not smart enough, or they don't know what's going on.
Right.
But no. If they're anything like you are, they know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. And you really want to be able to show them what, really what that love is supposed to look like versus trying to pretend what it looks like.
Yes, absolutely. So, that was a difficult time, and it was a really dark place. But again, I focused on my child, and I focused on me. I focused on doing what was best for me. Because I was all I had at that time, and I needed to do what was best for me. So, I started this company, Puckered. My girlfriend pushed me and helped me do something that I had always been doing. When I had a spa, I had my own skincare line, I had my own cosmetics. So it wasn't new, but it just wasn't something that, I was going through so much with my ex, and outside stuff that I wasn't really thinking about starting a business. And my girlfriend, she just kept pushing and she kept pushing and she kept pushing and she kept pushing. And I'm grateful because, when I think about it today, I still have the business. It's an e-commerce business. I love it. I love what I do. But it really was never about the business. It was about all the things that I had been asking for. During my marriage and my life, I would always, I always wanted more. I always wanted more. And sometimes we don't know how to get more. We don't know what that means. We don't know what more means. What does more mean? And so her pushing me was really the universe pushing me, saying, you asked for this. You said you wanted to move. You said you wanted new experiences. You said that you wanted to try new things. And you can't do that where you are. You've already done that. You've already had 3 salons. You've had numerous customers coming from Orlando and Tampa and out of town. You've worked here and you've worked there and you worked that. You've done all that. Now it's time to grow. And I didn't know at the time that it was time for me to grow. So my friend pushing me and pushing me and pushing me is what got me to Atlanta.
Wow. There's just so many things, Sylvia, in what you talked about. And I want to just peel back the layers a little bit because I know we could talk for hours, but we have a limited time. So one of the key things that you talked about is the question, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. When I tell you the power in that question, and the power comes in the self-reflection, that's something that we should always be thinking about, constantly thinking about. And what happens on corporate jobs, I'll just put it that way, because I'm a corporate girl, working my business, but still in corporate America, there's a lot of times that you're asked, well, what is it that you want to do? What create your job, write your job description. That happens more than you would even imagine. And unless you're prepared for that, unless you've already done some self-reflection to be able to understand and to articulate what is it that I want to do, you're going to miss out on opportunities. Absolutely. Big opportunities. So the sooner you start asking yourself those questions and be prepared. I mean, be prepared to the extent that you have a PowerPoint presentation already. So that when people ask you, it's like, oh, okay, well, let me just show you. This is what I want to do. And guess what? The universe opens it up because that's what you've put out. And you are speaking about it in an educated way that it convinces people that, okay, maybe we can do this. Maybe we should do this.
Right.
That is that is one of the, I would say the hidden secrets. If there's any hidden secret, that's one of the hidden secrets, that if you can be able to articulate what is it that you want to do, then a lot of times the path will be opened up to you. And the other thing that you said is really powerful, and I'll let you talk to this a little bit, is you said, if I hadn't done the work on me, a lot of times when we think about career and career happy hour or work in general, we think of a functional job, but there's so much work that needs to be done with ourselves before we can do anything of benefit to anybody's job or to our business. That's just so amazing that you talk about being able to do that work on yourself. And how do you think that you've been able to do that work on yourself? I know you talked about the law of attraction. For those who have had a hard time with that, in the audience, what would you suggest that they do?
Two things really quick. Don't wait for your job to ask you what you want to do. You should be asking yourself that at least every quarter. Every quarter, you should be saying, where am I? What am I doing? Am I happy? Is this where I want to be? Don't wait for your job to do that, because 9 out of 10 times your job is not going to come and say, hey girl, how you doing? How's, they might say how you doing, but they really don't care how you're doing or they just want to know if you're going to continue to do this job. That's what they want to know. The second thing is, if you don't take time out and work on you, you will never know how much you can actually achieve in life. We all have hopes and dreams. We all want things in life, but you have to be willing to explore what those things are. You have to be willing to ask yourself serious questions. I'm 50 years old. I am not ready to live a life that somebody else wants me to live. I want to do what I want to do. And I believe that I can. And I ask, and I believe, and I work on doing what it is that I want to do. Now, some people will say, well, I got this job and I got this house and I can't do what I want to do. Oh, I bet you can find some time. I bet if I came and sat with you or spent the day with you, you could find some time to do the things that you want to do. If you wanted to start a business, or if you wanted to go back to school, or if you want whatever it is that you wanted to do. We like to make these excuses about, I don't have time. When I first started working on my cosmetics business, I was a general manager of a spa, and I had to be to work at 9, and I would be there till about 7. Guess what? I would get up at 6 a.m. I would get up at 6. I would work on my business. I would go to work. I would come home, and I would work on my business. So, it really just depends on what it is that you want, what it is that you want. You have to be able to find some balance, and you have to be able to do things that are going to make you happy, number one, but help to grow you as well. We weren't meant to just go to school, get a job, go to work, have a family, do the same thing over and over and over again. That's not what life is all about. Life is about living your truest purpose. And the only way you're going to find out what your purpose is if you do some self-care, if you ask yourself some questions. We spend so much time taking care of other people. We spend so much time taking care of our family and our kids. And even some of us parents whose children do not live at home, we still are trying to take care of them. We're trying to take care of them more than we are trying to take care of ourselves. So, LaShena, really huge is, don't wait until that job asks you, where do you want to be? You should be asking yourself, where do you want to be? You should be asking yourself, what do I want? How I got into the entertainment business is, from a little girl, I always wanted to be in the entertainment business. I grew up watching MTV, Michael Jackson and all that. But how? How do you get into the entertainment business?
Right.
I didn't have parents in the entertainment business. So when I had my daughter, I didn't want to go back into the hair salon. And I asked myself a question. Sylvia, what do you want to do? And I said, I always wanted to work in the entertainment business. And then I said, okay, well, guess what? You're going to do hair and makeup for TV. You're going to get into the entertainment business that way. And I did. I got on the internet and started looking for photo shoots. And I started looking for this and I started looking for that. And so when I jumped out there, the universe opened up for me. When I made the decision about, when I asked myself what it was I wanted to do, and then I answered that question, but I don't, not only did I answer that question, I jumped out there and started researching, started looking for work, started looking for jobs. And I would tell myself, oh, all the entertainment and work for hair and makeup is in New York and Atlanta and LA. I'll never be able to work here. But God showed me different. It got to a point where when I was married at the time, my ex-husband would say, how did they find you? You know, somebody from LA would call me and say, hey, we got a photo shoot or a video or a commercial and we need hair and makeup. And I was like, cool. And he would be, how did they find you? I was like, I always ask how they found me. And the people, the production people would say, your name is on a list. I got your name off a list. How my name got on that list? I don't know. But I'm willing to say that my name got on the list because I jumped.
That's right.
And the universe, God, Jehovah, whatever is your source, opened up the door for me.
Amen. Amen. You preaching up in here today. That's what I'm talking about. Is once you set your mind to it, it is amazing the power of that you're absolutely right. Gates just start to open up and you don't even know why. But you also made a really great point about sometimes it takes having those like-minded individuals around you, surrounding you, pouring into you. You know, and some of that you're able to get, you know, that's why I love social media right now, you know, and digital marketing is that a lot of this you're able to get for free. Like this platform and these episodes, you're getting for free. These are free nuggets that you're able to get poured into you that you can take away. And there's so much like that all over, you know, the internet. And then there's also a place for what I found out is having a coach and investing in a coach. Sometimes there's nothing like paying and investing in yourself that makes you take action, that really holds you accountable. And so I think, you know, that's where there's so much opportunity, you know, for so many of us to be able to level up and to be able to really understand the power that is behind us. And I want to make sure, you know, that because that's, you know, your lane as well as my lane, as, you know, for, you know, coaching is, you know, how is it that you are able to pour into people? You know, how is it that individuals can get in touch with you or stay in touch with you? You talked about puckered, which of course I am modeling tonight with my puckered lipstick. That is just so amazing. I don't know how many shades of puckered that I have, but if I'm wearing anything and you see me wearing something, just believe it's puckered. And it's just amazing. So please tell us more about how all of our audience is able to stay in contact with you.
Well, you know, I truly believe that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. From the day that I started from the day I became a hairstylist, you know, everyone that has ever gone to a hairstylist, your hairstylist kind of becomes your counselor. And so I've just am so grateful for the spirit that God gave me, because I've been able to pour into people and build a network of people that truly value the connection and the friendship that we have. And I don't take that very lightly at all. You know, having my cosmetics line is also another way for me to encourage and motivate and inspire women because, they need help finding a lipstick. But my true passion, my true passion is to be an example of what can happen when you jump and when you allow the universe, when you allow God to open up the doors for you. You guys, really quick, I told you I drove to Atlanta with $100. My car was filled. Let me tell you something. I wasn't even supposed to have the car that I was driving. 2 years prior, I mistakenly bought a car. A lot of you probably saying, how you mistakenly bought a car? We would buy cars from the auction, and my ex-husband told me to buy a truck. I had been watching all day to buy a truck. When I pushed the button to buy a truck, I didn't buy the truck. I bought this car. And I said, oh, well, I'll give it to my daughter for her to drive. Lo and behold, my vehicle broke down, and it was during the time when my ex and I were having problems. He wouldn't get the car fixed for me. He wouldn't let me get it towed off of his property. He pretty much was trying to have me at his beck and call. So I was forced to drive my daughter's car. And when my daughter went off to college, I am still driving this vehicle today. It's not my dream car, but I am so appreciative of this vehicle. But I say that to say this: the universe was already working on, God was already working on setting me up to come here and providing what I needed, because, excuse me, because he knew I was ready to jump. And so what I want to do is I want to inspire somebody else to take a leap of faith, somebody else to jump. Because when you jump, I guarantee you, life will only get better. It would only get better.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, and I so resonate with that, because there's a lot of jumps that I've done, but I'm gonna tell you, this jump to do this show, Sylvia, you know how huge this was for me. I had never in my wildest dreams thought about having a show. And when someone put that little bug in my ear to say, hey, LaShena, why don't you have a show? And I'm like, no. I don't want to do that. I just can't. Nope. That's not for me. That's for somebody else. But I cannot tell you the testimonies that I've received thus far about the value that people are receiving from these episodes. It just warms my heart, and it keeps pushing me forward to be able to do that jump, as you say. It's a jump every week. I'm telling you, it is a serious jump every week, because there's a lot of prep time that goes into making sure that this is a great experience for everyone, and that we have very valuable speakers, and that that we're giving you what you want. So we really want to make sure that we're continuing to do that. And so I know I put this in the introduction, but if there's any feedback, any questions, any individuals that you want to put forth as future guest co-hosts, or certain topics that you want to talk about, please email us at hello@lovewhatyoudolllc.com. And that's indicated on the intro, so you can grab that the email address, and it's the same email address that you're getting if you're RSVP'd. So make sure that you're giving us that feedback. We want to make sure that we're continuing to give you what you need, and what and not just what you want, but what you need in order to continue that jump. Sylvia, it's been such a pleasure. I cannot tell you how appreciative I am that jump caused you to come to Georgia so
Oh my
that we could
God.
be in the same local area. Is there any parting words that you would like to share with us before we have to tune out again? I can't believe another
Yeah,
hour has passed.
has gone by. I want to say simply that don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your business. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on your husband. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep moving, keep pushing, keep striving. And when you hear that voice that says, now is the time, do it. Do it. Because I guarantee you, let me tell you something really quick. When I moved to Georgia, I lived with my friend who started the business with me for 4 months, and I had to get my own place. And I was like, oh my God, where am I going to find a place to live? I'm a 50, at the time, 45, 46-year-old woman, and my credit was shot, divorced. I didn't have anything. I was almost homeless. And I didn't give up on me. I knew that God would take care of me. I knew that the universe would catch me. I just had to put myself out there. He sent people to me that would send me money. Literally, I would wake up in the morning and there would be money in my bank account. He sent angels to take care of me. So if you are contemplating whether or not you should jump or not, I guarantee you that if you jump, you will be okay. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. We could go on and on and on. I have so many testimonies, but I'm about to let y'all go
Yes.
because, boy, I can tell y'all some things that have happened to me in this life, in this 3.5 years that I've been in Georgia. I can tell you how God has taken care of me, how the universe has opened up for me, how every time, he has sent amazing people into my life. LaShena is one of them, and I have a circle of friends that I would die for. So I want you to know that you have what it takes to do what you want to do. Start asking yourself those questions and start jumping. And listen, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
But if you're comfortable where you are now, I would like to see what's going on. I really would. I would really like to see what's going on. When you get uncomfortable, that's when it's time to come out and
Woo!
do something new.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh my
So
gosh, these
listen,
comments are
follow me.
blowing up, Sylvia.
Yeah,
Because somebody
I
said
have a blog. I have a website. It's pucker.com, puckerd.com. We have liquid matte. We have lip gloss. I have amazing products, guys. Amazing. But I also write a blog and I have an inspirational newsletter. So follow me. I will follow you. I'm also on Instagram. Let's create the energy, the network that we need so that everybody can get on that road, climb up to that hill, and jump.
yes, yes, yes. I put the website in the chat so everybody can put it can make sure that they go to it. We've got comments that we've got to do a part 2. We got to do it again. So yes, for all of my guests, I know it's so much to unpack in 1 hour that we will absolutely do another part 2 and part 3 if we have to, because we just have some amazing folks in this circle. Sylvia, mwah, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, LaShena. Thank you.
I really appreciate you. It's just so amazing the things that we're able to talk about in just such a transparent way and in a raw, like authentic way. That's when you really get to the truth. That's when you really make a breakthrough. That's when you really are able to jump to the next level in your life, in your career, and your business. So I hope that you're really finding value in these nuggets that we're sharing with you. And, if you need any assistance, then we're definitely here to help you. But there's so much that you can take just from what we've shared with you in this short episode and really propel your life. So make sure that you're doing that. But we're also here to help. I am so grateful for all 100 and plus of you that are joining in. And please, please do me a favor. If you're finding any value in what you're receiving in these episodes, please make sure that you're sharing with anyone who can hear, anyone in your network, anyone on your social media platforms to join us and to RSVP at careerhappyhour.com. And don't be selfish. Make sure you spread the word so that we can all level up together. I am LaShena Recruitalina, your six-figure career brand coach. I am absolutely obsessed with your success. I hope you make it an absolutely recruitable, visible, and profitable day and evening at the rest of this happy hour. Really appreciate it and hope that you are working your umph, rocking your umph, and owning your umph. Until next week, take care of yourself. Bye.